I'm going to take you on a tour of the 5280 website. So type in 5280 Chorales, Chorales, make sure you spell that correctly, .org. My computer knows the way, of course. Yours will too once you start using the website on a regular basis, which I'm sure you will, and you'll see why. So some things to look at and notice right away. Up in this corner, we will have weather notifications. So let's pretend it's a day where the weather is a little iffy. Parker begins rehearsal at 1 o'clock, so no later than 11 a.m. we will post a go, no-go message as to whether we will have rehearsal. We make sure that it says, yes, we're definitely having rehearsal, or no, we're not. But we only do that if the weather is somewhat questionable. Otherwise, it'll have some generic message like this. On a day when we decide to have rehearsal and you feel it's unsafe to travel, by all means, stay home. We record our rehearsals. You'll be able to review that at home. It's not as wonderful as being in person with everyone else, but it certainly would get the job done if you feel it's unsafe to travel. Down here, this is a new item that Steve Runkle has added, our billboard. And this is important that you refresh your page every time you return to this site. Some people just leave websites open on their computer so that it's there and ready to access whenever they need to. But if you don't do that, you're not going to get the latest update. I'm recording this on January 15th, and you can see this was updated on the 12th. But just hit your little refresh button or close out of the website and reopen it, and you'll get a current website. Here's our spring information sheets that you could pass on to friends. There's one for each of our groups, ways to sign up, so on and so forth. About Us simply tells you about the staff, about the choir, how we got started, and so on and so forth. The Join Us pages are important. You can register online. If you're here today at our open house, we have representatives who can sign you up today, but you can direct people here for that information. Here's our repertoire for this spring. Our title is Come Rain or Come Shine, and everything has something to do with rain or weather. Then you have our individual choirs, Highlands Ranch, South Suburban, and of course Parker. And if you click here, it takes you to the registration page where you can go ahead and register online. Calendar is self-explanatory. Support us is explanatory. It tells you ways you can support us. There are ways you can support us without spending a dime. For instance, registering to be part of the King Soopers rewards program. This is one you're going to use a lot, and this is the members pages. The first one is accessible to anyone, and it is just a compilation of notes from about the last 3 months, any emails that we have sent out to our members. We try not to send out a lot of emails. We try to keep the information you need to know fresh right here on the website. The rest of these, practice, tutorials, homework, rehearsal videos, and special, those are all things that have to be accessed using our super secret password, which is SINGON, sing on, all one word, all capital letters. I've chosen practice first because this is what you're going to spend a lot of time with, I am sure. This is last fall's. I'm in the process of updating for the spring. We have access to previous semesters of practice tracks, and then we have the songs in program order, as it says here. There's information about them. Most of them are going to be like this, just a soprano part, alto, tenor, bass, the full choir, and the accompaniment part. Some songs are more complicated, like this one, which had 2 soprano parts, 2 alto parts, 2 tenor parts, 2 bass parts. Most of our songs this spring are on the simpler side. When you click this, you're going to hear the accompaniment, and then you will hear the other voice parts, but in this case, the soprano part would be louder than anything else. Another little feature is when you get to the end, and by the way, you can click anywhere in there if you know about where you want to listen, but when you get to the end, it will automatically start over. Boom, and there it goes, and it starts over, which is nice. If you're practicing, you can just have it on looped, and it'll keep playing for you. This was a rather long medley. A lot of our songs, like you can see, are 3 minutes or so forth. Anyway, there's our practice tracks. Those are professionally prepared for us by a guy named Matthew Curtis, who lives back in the Midwest. Professional singer. He has a staff of professional singers that prepare these practice tracks, and they're wonderful. We get a lot of compliments on these from our members. Next is our tutorials page. You have to re-enter the SINGON on each of these. Sorry for the inconvenience. This again is last fall's. We will keep these tutorials up because we're going to use You've Got a Friend one more time for our closer. And this is the choreography. Here's how to mark your score. The printed version of the choreography, and a run-through of the choreography. Choreography is just the movement that we do when we sing it. Our newest members are grandfathered in. If they just want to sing the music, they can. Most people pick up the choreography in no time. I would show you one of these tutorials, but we're not doing them the way we did these. These are videos, and we realize that's rather time-consuming for people. So we're doing it a different way. We are doing scans. We're just going to take our scores and scan them. This isn't one we're doing. This is for my Cherry Creek Chorale. But anything that's marked in the score, in our scores, is things that we want the singers to know. And if, for instance, I'm a soprano, I just go through. We always like you to number your scores, so we'll have that done. Any dynamics that need to be marked. This particular score doesn't have dynamics. I had to decide for myself. Breath marks. Marks that say, don't breathe, like here, no breath, no breath. That note should be a little higher. You should think high for that note. Here's a breath mark. Here's a little help to know what the next note is. No breath. You can see you could go through this in a hurry, and you could mark all the things for the sopranos in a hurry. You only need to mark your part. So if you're a bass, you just look at what's marked in the bass part, and you're done. So that's the way we're going to handle tutorials. That'll save you a lot of time. The reason we do that is in rehearsal, it's really a waste of your time for us to sit and say, okay, in this measure, sopranos, you take a breath here, tenors, you take a breath here, in the next measure, altos don't breathe here. That would take forever. And you came to sing, right? So practice at home, rehearse when we're at rehearsal. The tutorial, we'll give you these, like each week we'll give you one or two that you need to get your score marked for. Here's a little bit about the weathers pages. Also, here's our adverse weather policy. That's basically when you just click members, okay? Now, I'm going to go on to the rest of these. Homework. Again, SINGON. After rehearsals, we will post for each group the things you need to do prior to the next rehearsal. Okay? They'll have live links in them to make it easy, so on and so forth. Just tells you things that you need to pay attention to as you're practicing at home. This is also very important, our rehearsal videos. We record each rehearsal, and they're available to you, unless for some reason we didn't get a video in a couple cases. But you can always, like it says, please watch the Highlands Ranch video. Basically, we rehearse the same things. Chris's rehearsal runs a little differently because she's a different conductor, but she and I agree on, okay, this is the stuff that needs to be covered this week. So if you missed a Parker rehearsal and wanted to watch one of the other videos or watch the Parker video, you'll be able to catch up. I should mention here as well that if you have to miss a Parker rehearsal, but you want to attend a live rehearsal, you're welcome to come to a Highlands Ranch rehearsal on Friday mornings or the South Suburban rehearsal on Monday afternoons. Whatever Chris does on Wednesday is what we're going to do the following Friday and the following Monday. And then we reset and make a new rehearsal plan for the next week. Anyway, you click on these and it just takes you to a YouTube video of a particular rehearsal.
Turn, face me.
This was a rehearsal that I
Your
had
feet
to,
are about 6 inches.
that's a rehearsal I had to cover for Chris because she was out of town. Anyway, that's also super useful and very important to you. I don't know. That was a little weird. You got to do a little reformatting there. And then finally, we've got special. And this is just special member info. These are not password protected. This happens to be a video that was made by Mary Grushka's son, Tom Grushka, and it's a really nice video of our performances at Tagawa Gardens after Thanksgiving. So those are really important pages for you, and there's information about that on your take note sheet, and Chris or I can help you with these if you need it. But when we say practice something or go get your score marked or look at the homework, this is what we're referring to. Thank you.